Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm MK,
And I'm Courtney.
and Courtney, how are you?
I am doing okay. I am not dying of a heat stroke, which is absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic.
Um, love that. I am only struggling slightly. I realized right before we got on to record, my coffee was behind me and I didn't know it, and I spilled it all over my couch. So my couch and me are a little wetter than I'd like to be. But it's fine.
Story of my life.
But last night, nope, Friday night, I don't know what day it is. I went and saw Wicked again, and it was so amazing. I love Wicked though. It's so
I
good.
do love
And
Wicked. Who's starring in Wicked right now?
people I didn't know, but I saw a lot of the understudies.
Okay.
And they were, I mean, so I saw it.
Is Celia Hottenstein still the understudy for Glenda?
No, I saw Allie, not Allie Hoffman, the other A one. There are two A names. Allie Hoffman is an understudy, but she's not the one I saw.
Okay.
I don't know where I put my playbill, so I can't give you any more information. I think it's across the room somewhere.
That's
Um,
fine.
but I saw it like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was incredible. And then I saw the understudies in this one. Elphaba was the main Elphaba. This woman who played Elphaba was
Oh,
incredible.
Talia is Alphaba right now. She's amazing. Oh,
She
you didn't get to see Brittany Johnson?
I did not.
Oh,
No, but the one I did see was amazing too. Like, and they had really good. Her and Talia had really good chemistry, and I really liked seeing Talia in it because her Elphaba. I feel like a lot of people who play Elphaba really try to just like emulate Idina Menzel, and they want to
yeah.
be and sound like Idina Menzel. And I mean, every now and then there was like a catch in her voice that sounded like it, but her songs, it didn't sound like she was just trying to sound exactly like Idina Menzel, and she did incredible.
Okay, to be fair, you might not have seen her, but the understudy for Alphabet is still Celia Hottenstein. I was not wrong
Okay. I did
because
not
I'm
see her.
because
Yes.
I'm friends with her, so I was like, no, that
Oh, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure she was Meg Giry in the national tour of Phantom, the time that I worked with them for like 2 months straight. And
Got
now,
it.
and so and I was like, no, 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 she's definitely still Glinda. I don't know who you
Yeah.
saw if it wasn't Celia, but she's the Glinda Nassero's understudy right now.
Yeah. Her name started with an A, but she was incredible and did wonderful. They both did wonderful. Fiero was fine. Um, I mean, he was good, but it was just like, eh,
Yeah,
especially compared to like the rest of the cast. So,
it
um,
happens.
but yeah, so I'm doing pretty darn well, thanks to that. How are you?
I'm okay. No, I'm great. I'm always great lately. It's disgusting and I hate it. Even when I'm not great, I'm great because like Friday had a full-on breakdown.
Well,
In fact, I've had a lot, actually, I had a lot of breakdowns in the last week. I had an absolute shit show mental spiral on Tuesday. Because I sent
I
you.
was like, did I talk to you on Tuesday?
Yes,
This
I
is how
sent
I feel.
that was the day that I snapped had you do like hair
Oh
ripping.
yes,
So I just walked
yes,
in
I recall.
circles for the whole
I was at
paragraph.
work that day.
Yeah. Absolute mental breakdown on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I told my boyfriend and showed him the messages I sent Courtney about my mental spiral, about not knowing how to talk to him. And he was like, you know that you don't have to do that, right? Like that's you can tell me these things. It's like I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like.
Oh, you're getting there. You're figuring it out and learning.
We're working on it. But on Thursday, I did in fact do the most basic white bitch thing. I changed up my Starbucks order. It's now $11.
Oh my God, your Starbucks order is ridiculous. I saw that and I was like, I don't have time to respond to this right now. I was like, I can't today.
Yeah, I told Dan I was only gonna order it like once a week because it's so expensive, and today's the fourth day in a row I
You
got
lied.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
lied. I lied so bad. Like I can't even pay my credit card bill tomorrow because I put more money on my Starbucks card to get it today.
ridiculous. Do you want to tell the fine people of our podcast what your order is?
It is a venti blonde vanilla latte, no vanilla, 3 pumps of hazelnut, 3 shots or an extra shot of espresso, 3 pumps of white chocolate mocha, and vanilla sweet cream cold foam, and a caramel drizzle.
That is really sweet. No, that is disgustingly sweet.
Good.
Meanwhile, my order is a toasted vanilla latte with half the sweetener. That's it. That's what I get. And when they're out of that, I get the vanilla sweet cream cold brew with no sweetener.
Um,
That's my orders from Starbucks.
but now that it's gonna be fall flavors very soon, my order is gonna change. But
Speaking of,
to be fair, hold on, where's my text to Diana about what my new Starbucks order is gonna be? Um,
insane. It's gonna be wild. I know.
a venti iced chai latte with 2 pumps of apple syrup, 2 pumps of extra chai, topped with vanilla sweet cream, cold foam, caramel drizzle, and cinnamon dolce powder.
Absolutely not.
Tastes like
Absolutely
apple
not.
pie.
I am distraught because I believe this may be a rumor, but um, when the winter flavors come back around, I've heard s'mores is being discontinued, which is very sweet, but I like to have it once a year because I really enjoy it one time a
As
year.
long as sugar cookies coming back, I don't care.
I don't know, I didn't ask because that was also too sweet. But I do drink the which one's the caramel one? Caramel brulee
Oh,
latte.
the caramel brulee or the chestnut praline. Chestnut
No,
praline
no.
is great. No, but the chestnut praline for not sweet, the chestnut praline is pretty good.
But I don't like those flavors.
Oh, okay,
I don't like the
whatever.
nutty flavors. But yeah, I get the caramel brulee with half the sweetener. As
But the other
close to
thing,
black coffee as I can get with a little kick of flavor.
the other thing I did to be basic on Thursday on my date, I did not get that coffee on my date. That was just for my morning to make it through work.
Be alive, yes, fair.
But then I took Dan to a cider mill.
To a what?
A cider mill?
Like a brewery, but for cider?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where they make, it's my favorite place, and they make apple cider slushies and apple cider donuts and fresh apple
Ooh.
cider, and they sell like all kinds of things that you can bake that are like apple flavored. It's like fall heaven, but I always go my first time in the year. I always go in August before it gets busy and all the white girls show up for fall. So we went and got apple cider donuts, which and apple cider slushies, and he had never been there before. And I was like, I'm about to change your life.
So I did see your picture of this, but I also was at work then and did not respond to this one, even though mentally I did want to respond to that
No,
one.
you responded. You said, I don't know what that is, but it looks delicious.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That is what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Is this still open? There's there's rumors that I may try and get to Buffalo.
I believe, when does it close? Let me double check. Um, Mayor
It's
blows
technically still fall. It's
closing.
not winter till December 21st.
That's true. Um, but then we went to this nature park, like it's like a park, but it has like art installations and everything. And then we went to like the creek and like walked in the water and let frogs nibble, like froglets nibble at our toes. And it was the best.
Can we redo this date when I'm
Yeah,
here? Thank you.
sure. Um, trying to think.
Dan
They
can
oh
come. I don't mind if he's there too.
okay.
I just want to do all of these things also.
I'm not sure when they close for the season.
We're gonna pretend like they don't close till December.
I don't
I may
think
keep
they
my
do
hopes up.
close. I don't think they do close till at least mid-November. But
Does it follow the
um,
Disney schedule? Because my birthday is always the end of Halloween, beginning of Christmas at Disney.
I love that. Um, yeah, no, I will have to find out, not on the podcast because I don't know where to look.
That's
But
fine. That's fine. That's a later days exercise.
correct. But yeah, they're amazing. And then on Friday, I went to see A Midsummer Night's Dream at Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah, I forgot about
And
that too.
it was really, really great. I had the best time with my friends. And the actor who played Puck was phenomenal. So, so great. It was just such a good week. It was just like a good, fun
Um,
summer week.
Speaking of Shakespeare in the Park, when you saw As You Like It, is it the same as our Shakespeare in the Park? Because my friend Noelle was telling me that it's like a super modernized version and it's really long.
No, ours was not that. It was just as you'd like it. The last day of the season last year was November 30th.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Perfect. I love that for me. I love that for me.
I love that for you too.
Thank you. But yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen the second half of Shakespeare in the Park, but it's on my list. So
Okay. Yeah, so I saw Chase in the Park. It was weird because I saw it with Rachel and we had just directed Midsummer Night's Dream at school. And I was like, I know it's stupid and I've read this play a million times and I've seen it a million times, but for some reason I was just so used to our abridged script that I was shocked that it was that long. I was like, what do you mean it's not a 20 minutes?
right. Well, we're here for 3 hours now. Okay. I don't know how it's over how long it is, but a lot of Shakespeare is long, so I'm just assuming.
It was probably close to 3 hours. I was being attacked by yellow jackets the entire time, and Rachel and Anna were not, despite the fact that we all had the same food and the same wine, and we were all sitting together. And I was texting Dan, I was like, why will these bees not leave me alone? I don't understand. He was like, maybe it's your perfume. I was like, I don't wear perfume.
Because you're sweeter than the rest.
That's what he said.
I was gonna say if he didn't say that, he really
No,
missed the
no, he did.
opportunity.
He said it was because I was so sweet. And then I was like, later, he was like, did the bees keep attacking you all night? I was like, yeah. I don't know. Guess I gotta stop being so damn attractive. And he was like, you're such a flirt. And I wasn't even there. I was like, I know, I was just trying to make you jealous. He goes, well, it's working. And I was like,
The yellow jackets? Yes.
yeah.
Listen.
I wouldn't leave you for even the cutest bees.
Oh,
And then I threw up in my mouth a little bit because we're so cute. It's disgusting. He ruins all of my apathy.
I
Why?
might would leave a guy for the cutest of bees if I had a guy, which is why I don't, because it takes very
But
little for
like,
me not to leave them.
yes,
See?
but like you and I used to be equal levels apathetic. What happened to me?
I don't know. You got out more than I did.
What?
You got out more as a person than I did.
That's true. No,
Gave you a chance.
stupid boy made me fall in love, and
It happens.
he's not a boy. I
Tragedy.
don't. It is a tragedy. He's a man. That's the real problem is he's not a boy. He's a man, and everyone else before has just been a boy. And
Well, you be the tragedy and I'll be the comedy of our podcast.
I love that. My love life is what makes us a tragedy, despite the fact that it's like beautiful and healthy and happy.
Besides the fact that it's like the happiest thing going on in any of our lives. But
Right.
it's fine.
It's fine. Whatever. Um, but you know what else is fine? Being spiritual.
You
Being
know,
spiritual is so fine.
and it is grand. And I have um detoured yet again because I've gone through quite a few of the cards I had. So I've started a new collection on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Um, so my first quote for our spiritual affirmation today comes from the one and only Lecrae, as it should. And if you live for people's acceptance, you will die from their rejection.
Beautiful. I love that. It's so true.
It is. I
Um,
used to love Lecrae.
I don't know who that is.
They're a Christian rap band.
Oh, okay. Cool. I
You'd like
appreciate that.
them. You would enjoy them.
I probably would enjoy them.
No doubt.
I also enjoy No Doubt.
I also enjoy them. It's
Um, you
banana.
know, you know what else I enjoy?
What is that?
Stargate.
Two.
Stargate SG-1 started season 2 off with a fucking bang.
With a bang.
So today we are going to be talking about Stargate SG-1, season 2, episode 1. It's going to be really hard to not continue to say SG-1 season 1. Like,
I know. I mean, I was doing that through season 2 of Bates Motel, so I mean, it's fine. I do have a question before we start.
Absolutely.
Do you happen to know the filming schedule for this show? Because I know they knew season one and season two were already planned. So did they film continuously and then just release later? Or did they film continuously like through episode one and then do the rest later? Because I know they normally would film seasons before their release, not all at one time.
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
Somehow it feels like they didn't, though. Like it feels like they did not.
I felt like this episode felt continuous though. That's why I was like,
That's true. It did. It did, but it had a totally different director, and
you know,
so
I didn't know. But I I
that's
believe.
a that's a fair question, which maybe the information is on IMDb and I just didn't look at it. That's always possible.
All right, I just come up with my out of the box questions and hope for a response.
I love that you do that.
Thank you.
Um, no, no idea.
Okay, that's fine. It's not that
Um,
big of a deal. We can always discuss it later.
yeah,
I just was curious. That was the first one of my first thoughts while watching this because it felt like it did just pick up from where we left off. And so,
yeah. So it is entitled The Serpent's Lair, and it is in fact part three of the three-part season finale episode of season one. Um, it was rated 8.6 stars.
it's wild. That's the same as the finale, right?
I
Uh,
believe so. I believe so. The finale was 8.5, actually.
oh,
So
so
it's
this is the
higher than the
highest
finale.
then.
Yeah. No, I think 8.6 was tied for the highest. Wasn't there something that was rated 8.6 earlier in the season?
I don't know. I thought it was the finale, but again, I don't know how my
Mm,
brain works. It's possible I just made that up.
maybe. I don't know. No, yeah, no, there, oh, 8.6. Yep. There, but for the grace of God was 8.6.
That was the one with Boy Meets World. Dad.
No, no. This was the one where Daniel went to the alternate universe.
Yes. Yes, that tracks. Okay.
So this was also 8.6, which is currently tied for the highest of the show, but as we discussed in the season wrap up last week, it is not going to be the highest this season because there are some bangers this season. Um,
Hit 9 points.
I know.
Can't wait.
Um, it came out on June 26th, 1998, which is baffling to me because when did TV seasons start in
Right.
the
That's such a weird release date. It's not even like early summer show release. It's like,
right? Because it's not a summer show because then it continues for a whole
right.
like 20. The normal network TV schedule is September to December and then 2 months off and then February to May, maybe June. Starting in June is so weird.
Yes. Yes.
So, but it did come out on June 26th,
Excellent.
1998. And the number one song was The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica. Speaking of, there is a live reunion of Cinderella
Yeah, there
coming up.
is. I saw that.
I'm going to die.
But it's the original cast, right? Like
Yeah,
all of them?
everybody who's still alive.
Yeah,
So
well,
obviously Whitney won't be there, but everybody else will.
I'm excited. I know.
So excited. The number one movie was the X-Files movie.
I did not know there was a movie.
There
I
was.
knew there's a thousand gazillion TV shows because that is one show that I have only vaguely dived into that I would love to watch more. But
The movie, it was one of those things where they did that sometimes in the 90s where really great TV shows would randomly have a feature film that go with them, and it's all the same
like
actors.
Rugrats?
Rugrats Go to Paris, what?
Yes, yes.
I almost wore my Reptar shirt yesterday.
Oh, you should have. Should have worn it today. It would have been
I should.
relevant.
I would have. I didn't know it would have been open.
You never know
Um,
what to expect here at Death and Aliens.
um, and the news that I want to share it was really difficult. I I looked up and nothing happened on that day. And I was like, I'm so sick of nothing having happened on these days. And I get it, 90s was a long time ago, but like you can't tell me literally nothing happened in the world.
Right.
So I found this site that like doesn't tell me specifically days, but it gives me like what types of headlines were trending about this time. And the number one trending news item from the end of June 1998 was Bruce Willis and Demi Moore announcing their split.
I'm sorry. You're telling me that was 24 years ago?
Yes.
I guess that tracks. She then also married Ashton Kutcher and has divorced him by now.
Yeah, Rumor was 10 when they split. And that was 24 years ago. All of their girls are fully grown adults now.
Wild. That is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I never remember them being together. I just always remember their like
This
them
one.
being the split always. But also like the fact that they're like super healthy co-parents.
Yeah.
Like for nasty Hollywood divorce, as far as nasty Hollywood divorces go, they might be the healthiest co-parenting relationship I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Mostly, I used to only be obsessed with Bruce Willis and like think Demi Moore was like a bad person. Um, Maybe it was the Ashton Kutcher thing. It just kind of irked
Mm.
me. But then I started becoming a weird Rumor Willis stan. I went through a phase where like Rumor was the background on my phone. Like I was just like in a weird place with my obsession with Rumor Willis. And her mom are really close. So then I like forgave her mom for these wrongs that never happened to me.
Right. Right. Yes. Yes. That all makes sense.
So I just was like, sure, let's go with that. Mulan was also in theaters.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Never did watch the live action.
Me either. I didn't want to give communist China any money.
I heard it's terrible.
Yeah, me too.
So, I mean, I also don't want to give communist China any money, but like,
But like if it was a good movie, I might consider it.
right.
This episode was directed by Jonathan Glassner and written by Brad White. So it is our dream team original duo. And the guest star that I'm going to talk about is Robert Wisden. And he plays Lieutenant Colonel Samuels. Correct. He was known for the Watchmen movie. He played Robert Nixon.
Never watched it.
Richard Nixon is that man's name, not Robert.
You mean like the president?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He was on the X-Files TV show, not the movie. I checked. He was also in Final Destination.
The first one?
Yep.
Definitely seen it. So I've definitely seen him in that.
But then also he was a recurring character for quite some time on Smallville.
Never watched it. It's another on my list of like, I'm gonna buckle down and watch that one day.
Yeah. So he, did a lot. I had a weird fact that I looked up trivia about him, and something weird was there. And I didn't write it down because I was like, I'll remember that. We're recording in 3 hours. And I didn't.
Never trust your brain.
Nope. Yeah, he sucks and I hate him, but all of the other characters in this episode we'd already talked about. So
But like he's probably okay as a human.
yeah,
He's done
probably.
some other things that I like.
Right. And I think he probably died in Final Destination. So
Yeah,
like
death got him.
but who didn't really?
Like one, there was probably like one final girl in each one. I'm
Yeah.
sure. It's a very tropey movie.
True. Yeah. So this episode begins where we left off. We get a really nice previously on like recap that I
Yeah, we
appreciated
did.
a lot because it was like it was a good balance of like telling us what happened in the pre episodes of this. Like, because it really was more like a this is a to be continued episode, not a this is a brand new season, what
Right.
happened last season thing. It
Which,
was really
like,
good.
now watching this episode, I will refer to this the rest of my life. I feel bad for Sweden. Is it Sweden that I feel bad for?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
can you
it's
imagine?
Sweden.
This is like, at least they had a good previously on, because if Sweden watched this 5 years later and had not had this previously on, no
Right.
clue. Would have had no clue
Yeah.
what happened.
Anyone who hasn't watched the episode where we told the information about Sweden is going to be confused because I think we have referred to feeling bad for Sweden every week for the last month.
Yes, I think I constantly talk about feeling bad for Sweden. I may or may not have also mentioned on a Bates episode. I don't know. I
Right.
just feel really bad for Sweden.
Yeah.
So
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch more of our podcast. Thank you.
we cannot
Um,
tell you what episode because we do not remember. I
no,
want to say it was 4 ago, 4 Stargates ago.
probably. So, we start with our SG-1 team, making sure that they have put enough C4 everywhere on the ship and kind of just resolving to die along with the ship. And Jack goes to like give a rousing finale speech and goes, sorry guys, I can't think of anything profound.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do, how they're gonna fix this, how they're gonna save the earth when Apophis's ship appears. Because we needed more trouble.
Exactly.
So they're like, all right, well, that's things are gonna get real. And Jack's like, what is the timer on the C4 set to? And they were like 24 hours. He was like, what the fuck would you do that for? They were like, we did that when we thought we were still light years away.
We thought we had an entire year before we were going to hit Earth.
Yeah. Um, and then all of a sudden, like a bunch of old people come into the room and start attacking them and send this grenade thing that sets off like a flash bomb and they all go black out. And then the credits roll.
I thought that was
And
a nice intro.
I thought it was a great intro. I like that even Teal blacked out because then you were confused.
Yeah.
You were like, what?
I know.
So then they wake up after the credits, blind and in a cage.
Because whatever, why not?
Why not? Jack's like, well, and Teal's like, don't worry, the blindness is temporary. This is what the weapon was, blah, blah, blah. We'll be fine. Um, except for that we will die. Um,
It's fine.
but speaking of we will die, Daniel is sitting in his corner of the cage in full on fucking spiral mode. He's like, this is the worst thing that's going to happen. We're going to die. The earth's going to die. Everybody's going to die. I've seen this before. This is the end of the world. We've ruined everything. I can't fix it.
Yep. I
And
mean,
like,
to be fair though, if I saw the entire world die and then I was in a trap, would probably also spiral.
oh no, I was going to say, I've felt that way about cooking macaroni and cheese. So like,
So,
I'm I'm not mad at him. It's just not productive.
right. Not super convenient in the moment. Yeah.
Um, what? Oh, also, at some point, Sam bites Jack during this exchange. That was lovely.
Because when they were talking about it, they tell him, bite him in the hand.
Well, no, when she first wakes up,
Yeah,
she's blind, and Jack like moved his leg and she bit his leg.
right.
And then so then he was like, yeah, when and if anybody comes
Oh,
to the cage, bite him in the hand. Like
yeah.
he was just like, I don't know, we can't see shit. Bite him, I guess. Like
Oh,
so then um Chlorel is put back in the sarcophagus to heal because remember they killed him last week. It's kind of
means that what's his name is not all the way dead because his body is still coming back with Pharrell. What's his name?
Oh,
Skara.
Skara. Yes, Skara.
Skara.
Yes. And I had a moment. I just wrote, yes, because I had a thought and I wasn't sure if it was a memory or a thought, but I knew who the serpent guard who put him back in the sarcophagus was. I
I
just,
obviously did not.
but my note, it literally just is a star and it says, yes.
Mine just says the sound I just made from excitement.
But we're not quite there yet.
No, no.
Before, but this, my note was there because in that moment I go,
That's what you
oh,
remembered.
I know. But I don't, it probably is a memory, but I was like, oh, that's how they're gonna do that. Again, it's been so long since I've seen this that sometimes it's memories and sometimes it's just like figuring out the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then we go to Earth where Lieutenant Colonel Asshole, as I call him,
Very fitting.
is there, and Hammond is like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he was like, "I'm your liaison with the Pentagon. Um, I've been working on a weapon with Area 51, and we're gonna blow up the gold ship." Okay, whatever, fuck off. Um,
Me and my aunt were watching it. We're both just like, he's so stupid.
yeah. Then we go back to the ship, and Apophis is like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Well, Chlorel got killed by the humans. We captured them. He's in the sarcophagus. I was thinking that we should wait to execute them till Chlorel wakes up so he can do it." And Apophis is like, "No, kill them now. They
Right.
are assholes. They tried to kill my son. I want them dead."
Yeah.
So Serpent Guard man has to go deal with that. But then we flash back to Earth, where we find out that Lieutenant Colonel Samuels, absolute piece of shit that he is, and all of his shit talking of the Stargate project and how it's useless and doesn't do anything good for Earth, has used the Naquita to make galactic warheads.
Right. Right. I was like, now you want to be a part of this? Now you think the world's gonna end? Like,
Mhm.
mhm.
Cute,
Fine,
cute,
fine.
cute, cute. I don't know what else he said that pissed me right the fuck off because my next note just says he's an asshole.
Well, he was like, Hammond was like, you can't, like, we're not gonna do this yet. He's like, no, we're doing it. I don't care about anything. And Hammond was standing up for SG-1 the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, he's just a fucking piece of shit. I hate him. Um, then we go back to the spaceship where I turned out to be correct,
Mhm.
and the Serpent Guard was in fact Bratok. Which this pisses me off because I realized it wasn't me being confused about how to pronounce it. Teal'c and Chlorel say Bratok, and Jack says Bratok.
Great talk. Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if that's supposed to be like a Jack is a dumb human or if that's just like a Richard Dean Anderson just said it wrong and they too many times they just gave up.
No, so we'll add it to the Google list.
Yeah. So Bratok punches Jack straight in the face and then yells at all of them that they have ruined his plan.
Which, to be fair, he had a really good plan.
He had a great plan. His plan was, does he describe his plan right now?
No.
No, he just says that he spent a very long time getting Apophis to trust him and let him back in the inner circle, and he had a plan, and them being here ruined it. And he is now on direct orders from Apophis himself to kill them. But he will not be doing that.
Yeah. So this is also around the same time. This is very irrelevant to the show, but this is around the same time that Jack starts saying it's a bad day. He just says it over and over. And
Yeah,
all I want to do is sing Daniel Powter's Bad Day to the cast during this entire episode.
that's so fair.
It's a
That's
great song.
fair. I
It's like my
love that
go-to
song.
like sad day song.
I love that song.
I think Jack
Um,
would love it.
I think Jack would hate it.
I think he would also hate it. But
I think Sam would like play it to like in the shower after they get home from a mission just to like get it out of her system. And Jack would punch a locker because he had a bad day and he had to
Daniel
listen
would
to
like
her
it.
saying that he had a bad day.
Teal could be confused, and I think Daniel would like it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Um, Back to Earth, where they are tracking things and looking at the computer and seeing things that go on in the spaceship, and they see an explosion in the spaceship on the cameras, which I still don't understand how their cameras work, but that is a very different question.
Right.
So they see this explosion on the cameras, and Harriman and Hammond are both like, "Oh, I bet SG-1 is on the ship. Interference, like great." And Samuels is like, "You can't gate to a ship." Hmm. And to be fair,
He
he's
knows
correct.
nothing.
To be fair, he's absolutely correct, but I hate him, so he's
But
not
also, there's
correct.
no way he would know that he's correct. Like,
No,
he's not a
but that's
part
the
of
thing.
this
No,
team.
but that's the thing is he does. He's read all of their reports. He is their supervisor for the
Yeah.
Pentagon. He knows what they're doing. He's just a pretentious prick about it.
But also, like, there's no way to know that they didn't get on the ship just because they didn't Stargate to the ship. Like,
But they escaped in the Stargate, remember?
yeah, but they could have escaped to this planet and then ended up on a ship. Like, the planet, I mean,
But
is what happened, but
theoretically, no ship can move that fast. And there'd have to be a Stargate somewhere else in our galaxy.
I guess. I just hate him.
That's fair. I hate him more because he's correct. So then we go back to the ship, and Bratok explains that his plan was to cause infighting. When they got ready to destroy the planet, he was going to take the Serpent Guard for Chlorel's people to Apophis and attack them and convince the Apophis' people that those were orders from Chlorel and cause infighting and have all the Serpent Guards kill each other so that Apophis and Chlorel killed each other and then never attacked her,
Right.
which is a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
There's one kind of serious flaw in that plan.
Yes.
If either Apophis or Chlorel survived, would they not then just still attack her?
Yeah, but that gives you more time to figure out how to take down one of them. You're not trying to fight both of them. So, like, I still think that is I mean, I still think he thinks that one of them will survive, but they will cut down the team a lot because other people will be infighting. And then also that gives you time to figure out how to stop it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's what I assumed, anyways. 'Cause I assumed one of them would live. And then
Yeah,
either he would kill them because there was no one protecting him, or, there would be a new plan.
but in order to enact his plan, that's why he put Chlorel back in the sarcophagi because he needed Chlorel to be alive for his plan to work.
Right.
Um, Then we see this beautiful, rousing speech that Hammond gives a bunch of people about the future and sending them to the Alpha planet and a new colony off of Earth. And it was a lovely speech, but it also very much felt like a season finale speech, not a season premiere speech. And so I didn't care for it very much.
Right. I
Um,
kind of zoned out when he was giving his speeches. I'm not gonna lie.
that's okay. Um, so he sends them to their new colony. Chlorel wakes up and wants to burn. He is like angry and trying to burn everything down. And Bratok is like, all right, we're ready to go. We're gonna go enact our plan. And Jack's like, cool, how many men do you have? And he said, including Teal, 4. Sir,
Oh,
sir, you can't start an insurrection with 3 people.
no. Or four.
4, 4.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. That caught me off guard. I don't know why, but it was funny.
It was like the light, humorous moment of the episode. I appreciated it. Um, So we go back to Earth and we find out that the ships have finally reached orbit because Chlorel is awake now. So they've started to move into orbit of the Earth. Because the whole time the people on Earth couldn't figure out why the ships hadn't moved, but Apophis was waiting for Coral to wake up. So they moved into the orbit of Earth, and Samuels is ready to launch his horrible weapons. Hammond is like, while we're waiting for this weapon launch, let's get the next group of people to the Alpha Colony. And Samuels was like, why? My plan's gonna work, and then they don't need to be evacuated. And Hammond's like, I don't fucking trust your plan.
Yeah. He's like, but also, we're gonna do it just in case. Like,
Just in case. Don't be so cocky,
why does it
asshole.
hurt to have a backup plan?
Um, so the weapons get launched and they're coming toward the gold ships. And Apophis is straight up laughing in the face of these weapons, which is kind of stupid because if it did hit him, he'd die.
Right. But like,
Um,
he also knows they have the shields to protect him.
correct. But so
The Clarel's gonna struggle, but
Clarel needs to activate these shields. And for some reason, Clarel takes a very, very long time to activate these shields. Obviously, we know what the reason is.
right.
The reason is because Scarra's like, maybe just kill us and get it over with.
Yeah. And he's not strong enough because he didn't spend enough time in the sarcophagus.
So he
So
and so the gold takes over the body and activates the shields, and the warheads strike the shields and do absolutely zero damage and vaporize instantaneously.
yes.
And Samuels is perturbed.
Ugh, the worst.
The strike from within continues. Everybody's fighting. People are sneaking around. Everything's great. We see Hammond on the phone with the president, and he's like, "Sir, I think it is time for you to come to Air Force One and please leave."
I will never not think of the Powerpuff Girls when I see him talking on a red phone. I understand that that's just how it is. It is a red phone, but I always think of the Powerpuff Girls emergency.
I always think of the 1960s bat phone where where Batman calls the mayor.
Yes,
So
fair.
I think the Powerpuff Girls did it because of the 1960s bat
I'm
phone.
sure they did.
So, like, I guess we're both thinking of technically the same phone.
Superheroes.
Yeah. So Apophis is talking to Quirrell, and he's like, listen, I'm struggling. This young boy, this host body is really strong. I can't fight him off. I need to go back into the sarcophagus. And Apophis is like, suck it up, bitch.
Almost word for word.
Yeah, exactly. So then we go back to Earth, and Samuels is like, now that this plan didn't work, I think the appropriate response is for me to go to the Alpha Colony and be done with this. And Hammond is like, you are a garbage fucking human being. You are not going to you are going to stay here and you are going to fight, and fuck you.
Yes. No.
And that one was word for word.
Right. He's such a coward. Like, how on earth? How on earth did he think he was going to get away with that? Like,
Yeah. So
but he
you go
also
back.
tells him, he says, he's like, yeah, but I want to go and be helpful. And he just looks at him and says, the idea is to send the best and brightest. And I was like, oh, burn.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Stupid man.
You are a garbage person.
Mhm.
So you go back to planet or the spaceship, and Bratak goes in, and Quirrell's like, Bratak, come here. And he's like, I can't. He's like, what? And Bratak finally is like, fuck you, and you, and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. It's a hot girl bummer anthem. Anyway, sorry.
I had to spiral for a second.
Could
It's
you
all
imagine?
love.
Could you imagine if Bratak just started singing Black Bear?
No, I would love that. Nothing would make me happier. But it's also the last thing on earth I would ever expect.
Correct. And that song did not exist at that time.
Well, of course, of course.
So he calls him out. He's like, "You are just a parasite living in a little boy. You are not a god." And then Corral starts to kill him. And so Jack, Teal'c, and Sam run in and they're like, "Daniel, watch our backs," and leave Daniel alone in the hallway. Granted, they leave Daniel alone with two very large guns. But my next note says that Daniel has stormtrooper aim.
Yeah, yeah. He's not like top notch with these guns.
No, no, no,
Tiny
no. In
ones.
fact, I think the stormtroopers might have better aim than Daniel.
They're
And
more active than Daniel. They shoot a lot more. So
so Daniel obviously gets hella shot with a Galoob weapon, so
yeah.
he looks like he's gonna fucking die.
Yeah, my aunt panicked and I was like, he's died like 50 times. He's probably gonna be fine. She's like, okay.
Good, 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 good. Um, so Jack comes out and he's like, "I'm not leaving you behind." And Daniel's like, "Just do it." And Daniel says some like really hurtful things, kind of, about basically being back up all the time.
Mhm.
And it made me sadder than I think it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And so Jack's like, "All right," and leaves. So the rest of them go to Apophis' ship and they're like, "Do we have any more C4?" And they're like, "No, we used it all on Corell's ship." And they're like, "Well, then we're gonna have to use Corell's ship to blow up Apophis' ship." Big brain. Um, then Apophis and Clarel get into a fight. I don't remember. I just said he's mad at
So
Clarel.
there was one line that I wanted to talk about before we get into
Mhm.
their fight. Broadtalk and Jack were talking and they're figuring out what their next move is before the C4 because they don't have any more. And he's like, "So what's the plan? What do we do?" And Broadtalk just says, "Now we die." And Jack just looks at him and goes, "Well, that's a bad plan." It's like, yep, that's not a great one.
Nope.
Not a great plan.
To be fair, the number of times this episode that the answer has been like, "Well, now we die."
Right. I know, but it was just like so straightforward in that moment
Yeah,
that I'm just like, all right, maybe don't do that if you
maybe
can help
don't.
it.
But Apophis is mad at Clarel, and I couldn't exactly figure out why.
I think because he hesitated.
No, I lied. Because, okay, when they went to Apophis's ship, they brought Clarel as a prisoner with
Oh, that's
them.
right. That's right.
And then Teal'c was like, "I'm gonna shoot him." And then Apophis was like, "You weak little bitch."
Yes.
Um, and then they're like, "Okay, we need to get the shield off of this ship so that the other ship can blow it up." So Bratok is explaining this long, fancy path that they have to take to turn this button off. And Jack's like, "Down there, at the bottom of that hole?" He's like, "Yeah." He just dropped two grenades. And he was like, "Grenades."
Oh, this might have been where he said, "Well, now we die." It may have
Maybe,
been
yeah.
after the scene. Yeah.
And then because then they're like, "Okay, we're just gonna like die." Oh yeah, because then he was like, "So now what do we do?" "Well, now we die because the ships are gonna
Right.
blow each other
That's
up
it.
and
Yeah.
that's it." And they were like, "Or escape pods." So
Not that. Yeah.
they go to the escape pod room and like Jack's trying to figure out a tactical way to go in there and like knock some guys out so that they can get it. And Bratok goes, "Hold on." And he throws one of those shock bombs that we saw at the beginning of the episode and he goes, "No, that's a grenade." It's like,
This
beautiful.
is indeed.
Is indeed. Um, and Daniel, meanwhile, this is all happening, has crawled himself into the sarcophagus to heal himself.
Which is genius, but also like I was like, how did he get there in his state?
The walking together was definitely challenging. I agree. But if you remember in the movie, he has been healed in the sarcophagus
Right.
before.
Right.
So, like, the fact that he had that thought was not
No, yeah. I
surprising.
was less concerned about why and him thinking about it, more of the like how to.
Well, we saw him like dragging himself on the floor. He only got shot on one side of his
I know
body.
it's very hard.
Yeah.
I probably would have just given up.
Well, also,
Good he
when he
did,
goes,
but
when this episode started, they had like 24 hours left on the timer. When he got out of the sarcophagus, he had a minute left.
yeah.
So, like, let's be fair, it might have taken him quite some time.
Well, no, because whenever they were going to Apophysis ship, I made a note because I was like, that was a fast 24 hours because they said they were like, we have like 1 hour, like 48 minutes or something left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like
Um,
less than an hour that he did this.
yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was
Um,
really close.
so then we have less than a minute left. We're watching the timer. Apophis and Clarel get in their little
Spiff.
teleport thing and leave. We don't know where.
We'll never know. I mean, once it's 10
At,
seasons ago.
at first, I thought they went back to Clarel's ship, and then I was like, that's too easy. They're
Yeah,
not
no,
dead yet.
absolutely not. That would be too easy.
Yeah.
We don't have
Um,
backup yet.
yeah. So then the four on Apophysis ship use the escape pods. They correctly get out. And also at the exact same time, Daniel uses his big brain and uses the gate to escape because, fun fact, they're now back in planetary orbit.
Yup.
But he couldn't go back to SGC because he needed to use Earth as the starting point.
He did go to. He did go to. Oh, he went to the other portal and then went back to
He went
SGC.
to the P3X498 or whatever, the Alpha
Oh,
planet, and then came back
that's
to,
right. He did say that. I forgot about
yeah,
that.
because he that's why he was like, what do I, when he was like looking at it and he like was pressing the buttons, it's because he figured out that he was on Earth, but he also knew he couldn't gate to Earth. So he was like, he just was like, well, hopefully they're using the same coordinates for the new planet as we did in the alternate reality, and did that. Like, just brain.
Soup smart.
Daniel's brain baffles me because he is probably one of the smartest characters I've ever seen on a television show. And yet he also makes some of the dumbest decisions I've
I think he
ever
has
seen.
ADHD. His brain's just all over the place all the time.
Yeah. Because then he does hyper focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting.
Didn't
Not a
hear any
bad.
diagnosing people on Stargate, did ya?
No, I did not. I mean, I could diagnose some severe trauma in Jack's life.
I mean, of
His
course.
his dad did not love him very well.
I mean, he's got all of the trauma. All of it has happened to him. So
But the ships explode. Um, everyone on Earth is celebrating because the ships have exploded. Um, the gliders are not going to last long, but Daniel and Sam have a beautiful moment looking at the Earth through orbit, and they saved
Jack
it,
and
and
Sam.
everything is beautiful. What did I say, Daniel? I meant Jack. I meant Jack.
And Tilk and Bratak had a beautiful moment where he says, "We die well, Tilk," and Tilk says, "We die free."
There's not quite yet.
Oh,
Not quite yet. The next time we see them, that conversation happens.
got it.
But because they're just like, oh, it's beautiful. And then that's the end. And they saved it and it's beautiful. Because then we go back to Earth where they're all celebrating. And Daniel comes through the gate and explains the whole thing that we just explained about how he got back to Earth. And Hammond is like, where's the rest of the crew? Or where's the rest of the team? And he was like,
What do you mean?
no,
They're
he's
here.
He's like,
I know.
pretty sure they're dead.
Right.
Congratulations, you killed your best team, but you saved the Earth. So,
And Lowe's.
um, then then we go back and they're talking about how they're dying in the spot, and he's like, "We die well," and he's like, "Better than that, we die free." And Jack goes, "Maybe we don't die at all. Maybe we should stop with the whole everybody dies thing
Right.
because the shuttle Endeavor has arrived to pick them up." And it's a beautiful, beautiful moment.
It's a beautiful moment.
And they go back to Earth, and there's a welcoming thing, and they talk about how wonderful Gratok is and how he saved everything. And I think that they're all under the impression that Apophis and Clarel were on the ship and dead, and it's
Oh,
fine. It's fine. They're definitely under the impression that they've
not, but that's
defeated
okay.
Apophis. They were definitely under the impression that they've defeated Apophis,
Right.
which is incorrect, but fine. Um, and then Hammond is like, "Oh, there's someone who wants to see you guys." And Daniel comes out from behind the crowd to be reunited with them. And Jack calls him a space monkey. And again, it was an awesome episode, but it felt very season
It
finale-ish.
did. It should have been the season finale. And I think they didn't do it because they didn't know how their viewership was going to go. And so they held this one out so people would come back for season
They were
two.
like, "We're gonna trick you into watching next season.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I think
much."
that's exactly why they did it because it felt like it should have been with season
Well,
one.
well, in that case, then maybe it was filmed all together. And then they just were like, "It'll be interesting if we talk to everyone."
What was the last episode date of season one?
It was February.
Of 98?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like that long.
It's not, that's the other thing. It's not even that long. It's 4 months.
Unless you're Sweden.
Unless you're Sweden. But 4 months is not a long time for a season hiatus. It really
No,
isn't. I've waited 2 years for shows to come back.
I've waited longer. I've waited
Sweden.
a lifetime,
Oh, Sweden. You poor thing.
you know.
Um, so trivia wise, I don't have a ton.
All right, all right.
Um, it was once voted the 10th best episode of all Stargate episodes for all 10 seasons.
Wow. It's a big
Um,
stand.
um, there is a weird quote that O'Neill says that is a variation of a quote from the movie Patton from 1970 that people think that George S. Patton actually said, but he didn't. It was only from the movie, so that's weird. And this one is a really fun trivia fact, but it's very spoilery.
No, don't do it. Hold it. Hold it in your back pocket. Come back to it after it's been spoiled.
That's at the end of the whole show.
Well, save it for our DNA awards.
No, okay. It's because it's not content spoilery, and it's something that I kind of have already talked about.
I
Season
will
two.
hum through this computer.
Season two is the only season of the entire 10 season run where all five of our main characters appear in every single episode.
Okay.
So that's why I said it borders on spoilery. It's not.
Right. No, it's okay.
Yeah. So Michael Shanks, Amanda Tapping, Richard Dean Anderson, Don S. Davis, and Christopher Judge, all five of them are in every single one of these 21 episodes. And it's the only time in the show's history, including in season one that we just watched, that all five of them are in every single episode.
Fair.
So season two is a good one.
Good little reunion season.
I think season two is probably one of the better seasons.
I don't need you to tell me that when we have 8 seasons left.
No, not that there are bad seasons, but like you know how like even in shows that every season is good, there's that one season that if you're like what season should somebody watch to like really get why a show is good? Season 2 is that season.
Got it. Okay. Expecting fireworks for the next 17 years of my life, so
It's true.
you better hold up your end of the bargain. We don't have a
Um,
bargain, but
we don't have a bargain.
I
But
do want to be enjoying the show the whole time.
if we also watch the spin-offs, there will be fireworks every time I look at Jason Momoa. So
Who else is in that season that I read about recently that is popular that I didn't know? Maybe I should just pull up the cast because I have no other information other than that.
I was
There's
like,
someone else in Atlantis that like I know from something else, and I was like, oh, nice. I didn't know he or she was in that. I don't know, male or female.
um I know everyone in the show, but not in a way that I would know what to tell you.
I know. It was somebody random, I feel like. Hmm.
What what were you watching? Like I don't.
I I don't know that either. I
Okay,
don't know where this information came from.
so I cannot help you.
No, I have no way of having you help me,
Okay,
but it's fine. It's fine.
that
Hmm.
oh, I bet I do know.
Corey Monteith is in it. That is not who I was thinking though.
Was it Jamie Ray Newman who's in The Punisher?
Where is that person?
She is a ginger. She's like above Cory Monteith if you're looking at the Google cast.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
I was just thinking of things that you know that would.
I do know that, but I've seen her in other things. Like I've seen her in a few things. So
No, but I mean things that you would have been watching or thinking about
recently,
recently.
yeah. I also like Rachel Luttrell. I've seen her in something else, I think. Maybe
Probably.
not. I don't know. She doesn't have anything else listed, but oh, she was in Zombie Lane Double Tap. Love Zombie Lane.
Okay.
And Tori Higginson. We could watch this. I like these people.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I spiraled.
That's okay. I do that often. We do
But yeah,
that often on
you
this
wanna
podcast. Speaking of spirals, let's spiral into our feelings.
yes,
Who would you like to punch?
Samuels. Samuel.
No, no, Samuels. Lieutenant Colonel something Samuels. Samuels is his last name. That's like a very, very solid answer. It's going to be hard for me to come up with a secondary answer.
Amy.
But if I had to, I mean, Apophis is always punchable.
Right.
He's kind of like an easy throw punch.
No, it's the easy
He
answer.
didn't really do anything like egregious.
I mean, other than like try to blow up the earth, but you know,
Yeah, but like bad guy's gonna bad guy. You know what I mean?
true.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Apophis. No, you know what I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna go with, and this is gonna be weird because the ability to punch them is very not, I don't have it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Goa'uld in Pharrell. Like not, I don't want to punch Scara. I want to
Right.
take the little fucking nugget out of his brain and punch it in the face.
Yes. Yes, I feel that. Yeah, that was my answer 2 episodes ago.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a good one. It's a good pick.
So, who is your MVP?
I was kind of split on this one, but I
Okay.
think in the end I'm gonna go with Bratok.
That is very good. I Talk really is the true MVP of the episode. I think I'm gonna give it to Hammond for
He would have
simultaneously never giving up on the SG-1 team or on the Earth, and also telling Samuels he was a garbage human.
right. Yeah, I was split between him, Broad Talk, and Daniel. Just because Daniel, I mean, he almost died protecting everyone. And
He
like,
did almost die protecting everyone, but he was a whiny bitch about it, and
I
so I couldn't
mean,
give him the MVP.
that's true. But that's why I ultimately
I
went.
almost gave it to Jack just for calling Daniel a space monkey, but then I was like, that's not really the best justification, is it?
Right. There's a few more good things have happened. Maybe I should reward.
So,
But yeah.
well, season two, let me tell you.
Welcome back to Stargate.
Yeah,
We never left, but welcome back anyway. So
yeah. We, unlike Sweden, we didn't wait very long.
we did not bless them.
If you have thoughts about season two, if you have predictions, if you have an idea where Apophis and Chlorel went, because I don't, tell us. You can email us at gmail.com. You can email us at deathandaliens@gmail.com. You can
I
just
got
send
very
it.
distracted when you said that because the mirror behind you showed up for a second when you leaned
Right.
weird. And it looked like it was coming out of your head. And then, like, after you fixed the picture, I was like, she just said at gmail.com. It's like by itself.
Yes. Just
Yes,
gmail.com.
it's fine.
Nothing else.
It's fine. You can find us on the Gmail.
Yeah. You can follow us on any social media at Death and Aliens. And you can follow me on all of the social medias at EMKAY_superstar.
And you can find me at CE Cloud 13.
And we will see you on Thriller Thursday for the start of season 3 of Bates Motel.
Woo!
All right, bye.
See ya.